Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow, and I wanted to come in here this morning because there's something very seriously heavy on my mind, and I've been meaning to talk about this for some time. So I'm going to go ahead and allow you to enter into the university of the painful truth. Every single election, they never talk about the deficit. They never talk about all this outrageous spending that is going on in this world today. And of course, every president, the only solution that they have to this debt problem is spend. And they come with the logic, believing that the way you solve this debt crisis is by creating more debt. Now, you and I both know that that's not logical, nor is that intelligent whatsoever at all. The problem is this, is that nobody on their watch, because of pride, nobody on their watch wants to do what is necessary. What is necessary? Now, you talk about austerity measures, all right? You watch this. You go out there, you go get in the same kind of debt that this country is in and see if you get bailed out. It's a hypocritical double standard, two serpent tongue system. That's what it is. And you don't get to operate after the same manner as this country does because, you know, the country, they put forth the interests of the bankers over you, the people, and you, the people, get to foot the bill. But the truth is, the reason why we'll never get out of this deficit, or no, we'll never balance the budget, and we'll never ever pay off these trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, is because of this. Nobody wants to take responsibility of the pain that we all have to suffer as a nation. We are well past the time of the Great Depression. And the Great Depression, and as bad as it was, is literally going to pale in comparison to what's getting ready to hit not only the United States of America, but what the world is going to feel worldwide. But when it hits America, it's really going to be bad. Now, this is the painful truth that your politicians, your preachers, your teachers, the news media, nobody wants to talk about, because it seems like every single time somebody gets up in front and tell them how to solve this problem, they put the spin on it to demonize everybody who is telling you the truth. We're going to have to feel the pain. And no matter how many times that they try their best to kick the proverbial can down the road, it's still not going to solve the problem. It's just going to make it more painful. And you have to understand, some of these people are so demonically influenced that if they can continue to keep kicking this can down the road, and they don't not have to feel the pain in their generation, then that's fine by them, because the successive generations that's coming after us, they don't mean anything whatsoever at all to these Satanists and these people who don't have any care for the generations that's coming behind us. Well, I think a little bit different. I do. And it's going to be a weep and howl go all across this land. And I understand that nobody wants the responsibility of it and stuff, but if we're going to get better, we're going to have to feel the pain. That's all there is to it, because we're going to have to pay for our ignorance, our inconsistency, and our lack of intelligence of knowing how to understand just economics in general. I mean, we are a literal mess. Now, you can't see right now how bad we are because of the facade and the picture that is being painted. And you watch carefully how in these news media, every single time they talk about going to a gold standard, to get off the petrodollar standard, to go to a gold standard, there's been money, i.e. for the last 5,000-6,000 years. You watch how they can immediately move fast to demonize anyone who talks about sound money. And you have to really, truly start paying attention. And I don't know how to teach you how to do that. I really, truly don't, because if you're going to understand truth, you're going to have to educate yourself. The majority of people in this country, we all function by the way that we've been trained, and we assume, because we trusted those who trained us, that we're all functioning the same way, that we're all believing the same truth. If that's the case, then why are we are so vindictive towards each other? Why are we so hostile towards each other? No, the real truth is you cannot solve this debt crisis and this debt problem and this deficit that we're running by creating more debt. Nor will it be solved by giving this land to China as well as the bankers to the tune of $40 billion a month. We're in some serious trouble. And if you don't start making moves, the first move is educate yourself. The second move is passive resistance, because, hey, the system is ready for resistance. We saw how they're going to respond to any uprising. You can forget the Constitution. You can throw that mess out because it's all in your own mind and in your own heart. That's it. But it's not in the mind and in the heart of the powers that be. You saw all across this land as well as the world, from the world scene. Because when you talk about New World Order, you're talking about a New World Government. And you saw from one end of this earth to the next end of this earth, especially in the so-called land of the free and home of the brave, you saw this beast system rise up to stamp out all residue and resistance. I mean, except by pepper spraying people for sitting down in a peaceful protest, getting beat half to death, getting shot with rubber bullets, and I mean, for protesting. And then whenever the protesters get mad because the government, the police of the government are not behaving the way they should, heightened sense of awareness, things begin to start to escalate, and then things start to get out of control. And the powers that be that are sitting in their sealed homes in another country that are the movers and shakers behind all this, and the only reason why people serve them is because they're going to provide for them a better lifestyle. And you have to understand, a lot of people who have went to these schools have sold you down the tube so that they can have a better lifestyle, because the people who have the money is providing it for them. And if they have to step over you to make the money, they will do it. What is a patriot? Well, you can find many videos about what a patriot truly is. But we sure do need a lot more voices out here to be more faithful to inform the people. Let me tell you something. If you don't want to feel the pain, or at least diminish the pain that we're all inevitably going to feel coming up here in a few short years, you may want to start making moves to preserve yourself. Number one, you may want to start storing food, because you know here in America you are terrorists for storing food. Not only that, here in America you also are terrorists for raising your own cattle, growing your own food in your own greenhouse, as well as milking your own cows and goats. It's remarkable, isn't it? The decline is happening just like the proverbial frog in the bucket, man. This stuff is getting heated up, and we're watching people become more and more tolerant. Now, I know the reason why we're more tolerant, because we have fluorinated water, vaccines, and they have drugged the American society half to death, that their ability to resist and their ability to be able to stand on their own 2 feet has become null and void, because like a drug addict or an alcoholic, they have made the people in this country dependent. The problem is, people seem like that they have this esteem, they seem like that they have this personal pride about themselves. But it's always against those who tell you the truth, the painful truth that you don't want to hear. But then you will bow down, cow down, and humble yourself, your prideful self. Humble yourself, and you will go begging and squabbling at the feet of the government to give me some food stamps. Give me. I exist in this country and I have a right to get some EBT card and food stamps. But then those same people will resist every bit of truth, especially, see, I'm a hands-on type of pastor, hands-on. Again, I see these hands. These hands were made for war, and these hands were made for building, and you don't get calluses on the hands like I've got right here by sitting on your rear end, belly aching, doing nothing. If you understand what I mean. You're going to have to get out and do some sweating. But you know what? It's amazing. Again, let me keep in this vein. The prideful people, who seem to be so proud. They'll resist everyone that stands for the truth. But they will go bellyache and cow down and squabble and humble themselves under the government to give them some cheese and some milk. I tell you, these drugs have just overdone. It just have done it to us, made us dumb, dormant, docile, and demoralized. Very passive, apathetic, and complacent. That's what we are. It's all. And it pains me. It pains me as a person who exercises independent thinking. It pains me to see that some of you don't even care except what you call care. And all what you call care, you still can't provide nothing but feelings and emotions. Go check out this YouTube and see if there's any other pastor talking like this. They're scared to rebuke you and reprove you. Most people are cowing down because they want you to be following them and love them. No. I'm going to follow the Bible. If I become your enemy because I tell you the truth, so be it.